will fool your kids into thinking you really splurged on the nice stuff. First, the Tui Canteen in Animal Kingdom. This is located in Pandora and features customizable bowls and cheeseburger pods, aka like a Mickey D's cheeseburger shoved inside a pound bun. Big portion sizes are the name of the game here, even for the kids' meals. Not to mention, I don't think I've ever eaten at a quick service with a more epic score to listen to while I check out. Makes me feel like a superhero while eating my chips and guzzling down my third soda refill. I am. 2, Docking Bay 7 in Hollywood Studios. Looking for a more heavily themed environment with tasty eats that'll again give you good bang for your buck? Docking Bay 7. This quick service restaurant features delicacies themed to the Star Wars universe, which you'll enjoy as you're surrounded by all the things you'll find in a ship docking bay. My recommendation, though, if it's a nice day outside, go eat outside in the little courtyard. Reservation. There's a lane closure ahead. Hit up the Polite Pig. This features modern barbecue in a variety of wood-fired Orlando area. This particular restaurant is even recommended by the Michelin Guide, so we're definitely not steering you wrong here. Next, Sunshine Seasons in Epcot. There are a lot of things to love about Sunshine Seasons. Plenty of seating indoors. You'll dine in a bright and airy environment with some fantastic attractions nearby, namely Living with the Land and Soarin'. You'll find a good variety of food options on the menu, making it an attractive dining location whenever you're on a budget and eating with a group of people around dinner. That could change, though. Check those park hours. Next, Columbia Harbor House in Magic Kingdom. Now, you could argue that Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe might be the quick service to aim for instead at Magic Kingdom, just because you'll be serenaded by the intergalactic stylings of Sunny Eclipse while you're there, but we do tend to prefer the food over at Columbia Harbor House in Liberty Square tenfold. Columbia Harbor House has a 2-story dining room where if you go upstairs, you might be able to snag a table with a view of the Haunted Mansion. Not to mention, the surf and turf here really does give you the best bang for your buck, especially all those platter options that could come with shrimp skewers or fried shrimp or beer battered fish or chicken strips or even a combo of shrimp, fish, and chicken. Platters tend to range between $11 and $15. There are a lot more quick service good-uns that you can rely on during your next Disney visit. You can learn about a whole lot more of them through our most recent DFB YouTube series, our Super Fantabulous 2025 Disney Crash Courses. Don't gamble on festival booths. As we start to learn more and more about the 2025 Epcot Festival, we've got the dates for Farts and we have the dates for Flower and Garden. I feel like this is a good time to remind you the festival item before calling it a day. Make sure to snag those eats before you start settling down for fireworks. And never doubt your Disney dining choices ever again. Did you hear the news? Because if you didn't, good. I wanted to be the one to tell you about it anyways. The team and I have been working super hard to revamp that DF page exactly. Well, let me just show you. Here's what our guide pages looked like before.
I have a lot of trust in medical professionals, so I did want to hear what my daughter thought.
And here's what they look like now. Easy to digest, a gorgeous layout, still all the same information and tips that will be perfect for your next visit. If you want to pick up a guide today, don't forget to type in code YouTube so you can save some extra money on your total purchase. Check and see if your favorite restaurant is now a dining package. For the past couple of Epcot festivals, we've seen more and more restaurants added to festival dining packages, which means in 2025, you'll have even more opportunities to purchase a festival dining package than ever before. What's a festival dining package, you might be asking? Well, basically, you'll pay for a meal at one of Epcot's select restaurants, and you'll also be guaranteed VIP seating at one of the shows taking place in the America Gardens Outdoor Theater that day. This basically happens during festivals most of the time and can be a great way to save your spot for when really popular artists or performances roll into town. Typically, your meal is going to include an entree and dessert or one full buffet, as well as a beverage, which can be alcoholic for guests 21 and older, or non-alcoholic for everybody. But at Spice Road Table, you'll get 2 small plates, a shared tagine, a shared dessert platter, and a beverage. All dining packages can be purchased in advance, except for Regal Eagle Smokehouse, which can only be purchased on the same day as your visit on a first-come, first-served basis, since it's going to be your cheapest dining package at $39 per adult. Disney After Hours events are returning to Disney World in 2025, and I am super jazzed because I love these things. They are limited ticket events, great for enjoying low crowds and low wait times at popular attractions after the parks close for everybody else. Basically my perfect experience of Disney World because there's like nobody there. But something particularly exciting will be returning to the Magic Kingdom After Hours events. Disney revealed that during Magic Kingdom After Hours, the 50th anniversary fireworks show, Enchantment, will still be performed. This means that folks who visit Magic Kingdom during these special events will be able to see 2 fireworks shows, Happily Ever After and Enchantment on the same night. This is double prizes, and it's very rare. In 2025, the after-hours events will kick off on January 6th at Magic Kingdom and will continue to be available on select nights leading up until May 19th. While Disney's bus transportation is often the easiest solution to getting around the parks, it can also make you all jittery wondering, how long is this going to take? But here's the good news. You can actually track your Disney World bus on Google Maps. To start, you'll need to put your starting location and final destination in the app, then select the Public Transportation tab. Here, it's going to tell you how long the path will take. From there, click on the route you're interested in to get a full breakdown of what the trip will be like. If you select the bus option from the last screen, it'll take you to a full bus schedule tab, and this shows when the Disney buses are expected to arrive at the bus stop throughout the day. But the real kicker is that when you tap on the bus you want to ride, the app will track it for you. This is a huge tip. And honestly, I hope you're happy you clicked on this video just for this tip because it is a big deal, my friends. A big deal. They solved the problem of having to walk around. If you've been in the parks during tour, they might kind of clash with your Disney bound for real life. In air-conditioned areas as non-conditioned areas as is still a hot. However, I will advise you that if you do plan to take a trip around this time, you need to keep an eye on the weather because this is when the peak of hurricane season tends to happen. I'm not saying a hurricane's going to happen, but if we look at the past few years for guidance, hurricanes and tropical storms have been pretty much an annual thing for this Florida area around this season. In 2024, Hurricane Milton forced the parks to close on October 9th and 10th, and Hurricane Helene also caused emergency conditions, like canceling one of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween parties and closing Typhoon Lagoon on September 26th. In 2023, Tropical Storm Idalia didn't fully close the parks, but it did make for some pretty wet and rainy days for guests and caused a lot of ride closures. And in 2022, Hurricane Ian closed the parks from September 28th to the 30th, while Hurricane Nicole swooped in for a late storm closure around November 9th to the 10th. Again, hurricane is never guaranteed during hurricane season, but it's always good to study up on Disney's cancellation policies and keep track of your AccuWeather app so you know exactly how to prepare if 2025 does happen to hit us with another major storm. In summer 2025, a new nighttime parade, Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away, will be dazzling the streets of Magic Kingdom. We don't know for sure when exactly this parade is opening just yet, nor do we know how many showings this parade will be having each night. But according to Disney history, there's the possibility that it might have 1 showing during the slower seasons and 2 during busier seasons. But again, that's just my prediction. At any rate, when Disney Starlight does release, you'll want to check on those updated showtimes via your My Disney Experience app, just like you'll want to check on the showtimes for all the other performances that happen throughout Disney World. Because if there is a second performance that'll be happening for Disney Starlight Parade, you might prefer to go to that performance instead, since again, as history has proven, many families like to prioritize the first showings of Disney's nighttime entertainment so they can wrap up their days a little earlier and get the kids to bed at a decent hour. So sometimes those later parades can be totally empty. Minivans, aka Disney's own rideshare service that's bookable through the Lyft app, can be a super convenient way to get you from point A to point B across Disney World property. But let me warn you about 2 things before you rely on them entirely. 1, minivans are typically pricier than a regular rideshare service. The last time I was at Magic Kingdom and trying to book a rideshare, a minivan was going to cost me $40 while a regular Uber was going to cost me $15. Some folks do prefer splurging a little more for the minivan though, since minivans will pick you up from the Magic Kingdom closer to the front gate, while a standard Uber or Lyft will pick you up at the Transportation and Ticket Center, meaning you'll still need to catch a ferry or monorail to reach it. Minivans also guarantee 2 clean and safe car seats, which are super, super useful if you have littles in tow. Second thing to remember about minivans, they are extremely limited. There's a good chance that if you book a minivan right when you're at a minivan pickup area for whatever park or resort you're at, you might have to wait an extra 15 to 30 minutes before it gets to you. Or if it's toward the end of the night, you might find yourself out of luck for getting a minivan at all, since they'll be completely booked up. While you can't pre-book a minivan, it's not a bad idea to book one 30 to 40 minutes before you're about to leave the park, just to give it time to reach you and give you time to reach it without having to wait on the side of the curb for what feels like forever, regretting your choices. If you were around the Disney scene during Epcot's big multi-year transformation, then you know how much construction can impact your Disney visit, especially if you aren't prepared for it. Throughout 2025, construction is going to be on a much larger scale because 3 of Disney World's 4 parks are about to start getting some major makeovers. This includes Animal Kingdom for the new Tree of Life show and Pueblo Esperanza area replacing Dino Land, Magic Kingdom for its future Villains Land and Cars re-theme around Frontierland, and Hollywood Studios for its future Monsters, Inc. area that'll be taking over Muppets Courtyard.
Don't just see a place, taste it with the locals that know it best. Make pastries in Paris with these best. Make ancient gelato in Rome with a fifth-gen artisan. Or master ramen.
Construction everywhere. There's no way to completely plan around park construction during a 2025 visit. That's just going to be the truth of things for a while as Disney prepares to open some really exciting stuff for us in the future. However, even with these major construction projects going on, the majority of the parks will still be alive and well and ready to show you a fun-filled day with a family. So set your expectations, brace yourself for some areas of the park that might break your suspension of disbelief for a little bit. It might be a little confusing and kind of maze-like. And keep on keeping on for several jam-packed days of rides and restaurants and shows. And along with areas of some closures that we know about so far, Big Thunder Mountain is open.
There's river rapids are in Island Kingdom.
We just know it's listed as temporarily closed throughout the end of the current calendar that's available on the website. That goes out to mid-February for the release of this video. Grand Fiesta Tour in Epcot is following the same suit, closing on January 6th, but we do know it's slated to reopen on March 15th, 2025, so there's a light at the end of that tunnel. And Astro Orbiter in Magic Kingdom recently announced an extended closure starting January 13th, and slated to reopen summer 2025. Test Track in Epcot has been closed since this past summer, so we're already pretty used to it being down for the count by now, but the revamped version of this ride is currently set to open in late summer 2025. Now, I hate goodbyes, but it'd feel wrong for these classic attractions to go away without us at least saying a quick toodle-doo to them, and I expect you probably feel the same way. So whether you're going to the parks as a Disney expert or as a first-time guest in 2025, here are the attractions you'll want to see before they hit the high road for good. Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island are slated to close in early 2025 to make way for the new Pixar Cars area, so you got to get there quick. All of Dino Land will be closing by the end of 2025, while the dinosaur ride will remain open throughout the rest of the year. The first phase of closures for Dino Land will be happening on January 13th, taking away Triceratops Spin, Fossil Fun Games, and Chester and Hester's Dinosaur Treasures, which is an absolute tragedy because that particular store is so fascinating. There are so many little Easter eggs in there. So if you haven't been in there in a while, go check it out. It's Tough to Be a Bug will also be closing in Animal Kingdom sometime soonish to make space for the new Zootopia Better Together show, slated to open inside the Tree of Life by late winter 2025. And while we don't have any official closing date for the Muppets Courtyard yet, when it does close to start making way for the new Monstropolis section, we'll be losing Muppet Vision 3D, Mama Melrose's Ristorante Italiano, and Pizza Rizzo. Okay, now that Tom Sawyer Island is heading to the big Disney attraction haven in the sky in 2025 to make way for the new Cars attractions that'll be taking over this space, we're in need of a few different quiet places to escape when the crowds of people are starting to feel too people-y for our liking. So here are some of the quiet spots that we still like to venture over to inside Magic Kingdom that will remain open in 2025. AFAIK. 1. The Yellow Storybook Circus tent. Just past Pete's Silly Sideshow, you'll find a yellow tent overhang that really blends in with the area, so it's one of those hidden in plain sight kind of places. Inside this tent, you'll find ample charging outlets for USBs and outlets alike, as well as tons of seating to help you recharge, literally and figuratively. 2. Tomorrowland Terrace. This used to be a little quick service dining location that would occasionally open during peak seasons. We haven't seen it open in a real long time. These days, it's really only ever used during the Magic Kingdom fireworks dessert viewing parties in the evening. So during the day, it's basically a big open space where nothing's going on. making it a quiet hangout if you need to get away from all the hoopla. 3, the somewhat hidden areas. There are a couple of spots in Magic Kingdom that are more off the beaten path that can be a great place for a quick breather. Center Street off of Main Street, USA doesn't lead to anywhere in particular, but there are some tables and chairs over here that you can relax in if they're available. You can find it right between Crystal Arts and Uptown Jewelers on the right side of the street if you're walking into the park. Another place that's kind of tucked away is near the gazebo in Liberty Square. It's right before you get to Ye Olde Christmas Shop if you're entering the land from the hub, aka the main area where the castle is. During events like Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, this is usually where
In 2 miles, take exit 609 toward Austin Street, Texas 123.
greet isn't happening here. I know not everyone is thrilled with the new Communicore Hall and Plaza in Epcot, but little by little, we're really starting to warm up to this place. I mean, just this past Festival of the Holidays, Communicore Hall housed a spaceship Earth gingerbread replica that actually a new feature on the app, making it easier to see some restaurant photos. When you're looking at a mobile order location via the My Disney Experience app, you'll see a picture in a circle next to the restaurant's name. Around the circle, there will be a blue outline, similar to what you'd find on social media for a story you haven't gotten the chance to view yet. Website, they didn't have an app, they didn't have any menus on their website, they certainly didn't have what they have produced.
Hey everyone, it's Bria. If you've been following this channel for a while, then you probably know me as the scriptwriter.
There's a lane closure ahead.
I'm never meal prepping as an empty nester again. Factor showed me how delicious, and then I found Factor. These chef-made meals come to the
Disney pin trading fanatic, or the girl that can get lost inside a brown paper bag. And the latter option, first time I've done that. So guessing right is let.
Which will allow you from the drop-down menu to link a reservation. You're going to be asked to type in your last name and your hotel confirmation number, and then you should be all linked up and ready to serve. Our 3 Disney you can use and earn Marriott reward points when you stay there. Plus, Disney offers many of the same deluxe resort perks to Swan, Dolphin, and Swan Reserve guests from the My Disney Experience app. And you can download the Swan and Dolphin mobile app to keep track of your reservation and to see things like restaurant to find at the Disney-owned resorts. You can order in-room dining, that's room service, for breakfast and dinner at the Swan and Dolphin, and breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the Swan Reserve. And while you're ordering, you can choose to have that food immediately delivered up to your rest the way I like them.
Zevo works 24.
Yep, picking up a Disney goodie at one of the park's confectionaries can make your visit. He talks about it. If you're exploring, the treats will be featured inside these display case reopened candy cauldron and Goofy's Candy Kingdom. You can get it over in what bill $2 at food court over at Disney's Boardwalk Inn at the end of October time celebrations. Made through the My Disney Experience app and the Disney World website, or by calling a Disney World dining agent. Though that might take you a bit more time since Disney's phone lines can get pretty congested. Advanced dining keep you on through. Sometimes even if you do all the steps right though, you still have to go through a more thorough bag check. Happens to me all the time when I have my laptop with me. Which is okay. We're just glad Disney's taking those extra measures to keep everybody safe. So even if you get pulled over, be cool and be nice. The Disney refillable mugs that you're probably going to hear the most about are the ones that you can only use around the resorts at select quick service.
In a quarter mile, merge onto I-10 East.
You can get unlimited soda refills for certain parks, just not with a resort rapid refill mug purchase. The Disney water parks have their own refillable mugs for sale that you can use for unlimited refills. Those come in handy during your free water park day. Intergalactic drinks, funky beats from a retired
Continue on I-10 East for 11 miles.
Things have really been popping over on the Oga's Cantina scene recently inside Galaxy's Edge. But if you're wanting to check out this spaceport bar during your 2025 visit, don't forget the following rules. 1, while most Disney World lounges and bars don't require an advanced dining reservation, Oga's is one of the few that does take them. That being said, you may still be able to find last-minute availability on the day of your visit through the My Disney Experience app or by asking a host outside of the cantina. 2, there's very, very, very limited seating at Oga's. So there's a good chance you'll be snacking and sipping and standing during your entire visit, and hopefully right next to a bunch of strangers. And 3, there is a 45-minute time limit for each party. So don't expect to enter the cantina and just chill there for the remainder of the afternoon like we kind of do at Nomad Lounge. This place is small but popular, so Disney has to make sure to keep a revolving door open for this place at all times. Okay, here's a very interesting new tip. Not every hotel room in Disney has a bathtub anymore. In fact, many of the recently remodeled rooms are mostly walk-in showers. For those without babies, this may be your preferred way of getting cleaned off these days, but the no bathtub thing can be tricky for parents of little ones who are used to taking baths back home, or who can't really take showers yet because they're just too itsy bitsy. If you use the mobile check-in feature on the My Disney Experience app, you'll find an option that lets you make basic room requests, like picking what floor you want to be on, or your room view, or how close you are to certain resort amenities, like the lobby or transportation. But if you have a more specific request, like a room with a bathtub, be sure to call your resort directly and speak to a cast member. You're not always going to be guaranteed said request, but a cast member will make a note of it in your file, and the resort will do their best to make it happen for you. But it's not a bad idea, if you have little ones, to invest in a collapsible portable tub to take with you, just in case you aren't placed in a room with a tub. You can find some of these on Amazon that just flatten out when you're done using them, making them super easy to pack into your suitcase. A lot of folks have been turning to TSA PreCheck recently to help skip over the massive security lines for many airports, which really comes in handy when you're dealing with lines at MCO at the end of your Disney World vacation. I really have never seen lines that get longer than they do at MCO. With the purchase of TSA PreCheck, instead of having to wait in forever long lines to take off your shoes, get all the technology out of your carry-ons and into those conveyor belt bins, remove your jackets and your belts and your jewelry, all those basic TSA procedures, TSA PreCheck allows you to skip all those extra steps and breeze on through security with a much shorter line. But here are a few things you need to keep in mind if you pay for TSA PreCheck that might take you off guard if you're not expecting that. First, there's still the chance that you might get randomly flagged and have to go through the bigger machines sometimes. Don't let this throw you off or make you feel like you've been ripped off. TSA's just doing their job of keeping everyone safe.
Don't just see a place, taste it with the locals that know it best. Make pastries in Paris. With these baskets.
2, airports do eventually close their TSA PreCheck for the day. So even if you have TSA PreCheck, but your flight is later and the TSA PreCheck line is closed, you're just going to have to go through the regular standby line. At Orlando, the TSA PreCheck line is available from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily, though hours are subject to change. And 3, certain credit cards will reimburse you for your TSA PreCheck purchase. Nifty, right? So double check and see what your credit card might help you cover before your purchase. This is a dual Disney World Disney Cruise Line tip, so you get a 2 for here, but it will only help you out if your ship is going to be leaving from Port Canaveral. While parking is available at the cruise terminal for a daily fee if you bring your car, you can also choose to be dropped off by an Uber or a Lyft or ground transportation to and from the Disney World Hotel. Even if you're not early, you can have the Disney Cruise Line shuttle service pick you up at a Disney hotel of your choice. To book your DCL shuttle ride, click on the Already Booked tab via the Disney Cruise Line website and scroll down to the ground transportation option. This tip was recently highlighted in our brand new Ultimate Guide to DCL in 2025 video. So if you want to see even more super tips like that leading up to your vacation across the 7 seas, make sure to check it out when you get a chance.
Ask this up about my favorite hobby. Certain Disney pins are part of collections or series, and you might start feeling the itch to become a completionist for certain collections while you're inside the parks. I know this all too well. Back in the day, I made it my mission to collect all of my Disney Princess nesting dolls, and now they're displayed on my office wall, loud and proud. If you're trying to complete a collection, my best advice is to find a photo of the full set and make a note of what you already have. I can't tell you how many times I accidentally traded a pin that I thought I had multiples of, or I passed up on a pin I needed because I thought I already had it in my possession. Listen, the Florida heat starts to get to you, okay? So just keep tabs on your collection and make sure you're getting and trading the right stuff.
If you want to rope drop one of the parks, but you also want to eat something for breakfast at the start of your day, you don't have to, why would she willingly forget to pack breakfast foods? Don't sweat it. You can always go grocery shopping once you arrive. Leave the Disney bubble if you don't want to. And please don't let Bria's mistake steer you wrong. You definitely want the frosted Pop-Tarts. If you're traveling with a bigger group that's over a 4-person limit for Disney's cheaper standard rooms, see if it'll be more affordable for you to book 2 standard rooms right next to each other instead of a Disney villa with more beds. Quick example. On average, a family suite at Art of Animation Resort, which can sleep up to by paying for 2 side-by-side standard rooms at Pop Century, you're not only bumping up your total guest capacity to 8, but you may only end up paying around $400 per night instead of $600 or more. Of course, this plan may not work for parents traveling. Solution. Okay, why is AJ so obsessed with this yellow fruit nonsense today? If you've been following along on our channel for a bit, then you know my beef with Barf Alley and Epcot. And if you're new here, this is a section of World Discovery that has 2 spinning rides within steps of each other, Cosmic Rewind and Mission Space. That could spell danger if you take them on one right after the other. Now, to be fair, Mission Space has 2 in front of your face and movements to still simulate a rocket takeoff. I don't blame you if you still step off this tamer ride feeling a little queasy. For some folks who want to take these rides back to back, they might feel like keeping an empty stomach is the best way to survive. Others might feel like eating a full meal is a better option. But what do I say? Neither. First of all, I wouldn't attempt to ride these rides back to back at all, even if it seems convenient to do them at the same time, because the ride heavier is over at the Disney Store website first. DisneyStore.com often has sales featured on their site for authentic Disney park.
In a half mile, take exit 632 for US 183 toward US 90 Gonzales.
I've been wondering how on earth you're going to fit all your new stuff in your carry-on. Just remember that you'll have to pay shipping on DisneyStore.com unless you carry on. Just remember that you'll have to pay shipping on DisneyStore.com unless you hit a certain spending amount or ears in the parks.
In a quarter
Many more things to talk about when it comes for each and every Disney World park. Be sure park for 2025 and don't forget to pick up our free guide for our best restaurants in Disney World for 2025.
Have space or not?
Should be enough space.